life 24/7, 365. He did. It's
gonna be so chill.
gonna be good.
I will try to.
Oh wait, I'm gonna
hold back this time instead of like screaming like I did the last time. Like I'm really gonna try this time.
Similar films, similar themes, similar themes. So I feel like just go for it.
Okay, because like I really don't know, like, yeah, because like,
don't.
And when I say I did scream, like this movie did elicit actual screaming from me at like certain like moments. Like obviously we'll like crack that egg open a little later, but like, oh man, this movie upset me and my homegirls. So.
Yeah.
Well, I love that. I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you that you did not lose 2 hours of your life.
Yeah.
Like I'm only getting older. Like I'm only getting older. That's what that movie told me. That time is precious and I'm wasting it.
What does Stevie Nicks tell us?
Yeah, what is Stevie Nicks was literally warning us about CRUELLA. That's what the song was actually about. It was about be careful about watching girl boss films. So, God.
Cool. Hey, stream. How's it going?
Hello. Okay. Like the notable girl boss movies or like the girl boss characters. Because there are girl boss characters and then there's girl boss cinema. I feel.
You've got a point. Yeah. You've got a point.
Yeah. Okay. Because I think the ultimate girl boss is Carrie Bradshaw. You have to give credit where credit is due. She's the ultimate girl boss because like she's the whole like I'm weaponizing my sexuality and also being cool about it.
Yeah, like, climb that corporate ladder, sis.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that it was
before the term was a thing, but I think like she
like she's like helped define what a girl boss is. It's just like grinding.
Yeah, I think she's like
what? Gotcha. I didn't know. I've just been
Mr. Big.
No, it's totally fine. I just think that like Carrie Bradshaw is like deeply ingrained in girl boss culture.
I think the girl from Legally Blonde, her name is Elizabeth Woods, right?
Elle Woods. She's totally a girl boss. She's absolutely a girl boss.
Is she, dare I say, is she a positive girl boss? Because girl boss has the negative connotation to it.
Right. She is a positive girl boss. Garbage. For sure. She's definitely a positive girl boss. So.
She's a queen.
Master plan.
Oh no! Oh no!
Okay, we're good.
How many times do people exclaim "oi" during this movie? Because it's a lot. Anytime anybody gets anything stolen from them, they're like "oi."
That's what's good about it is the across-the-board atrocious English accents. Paul Walter Hauser's
every single person.
Yeah, Emma Stone really gave like Dick Van Dyke a run for his money. Is like the new version of a shitty British accent, but
especially when she goes into her Cruella persona.
I was like,
do you remember, darling? You know, okay, so Danny Gonzalez made the video about those boys on TikTok who were being the Joker, and to them the Joker was just like making a scary face, and then they got superpowers. I feel like this movie was based off of a TikTok girl who would cosplay Cruella, and then that was her interpretation. That was like her edgy interpretation, that she had like BPD. It was like, oh, it's a persona of Cruella. Like that's what I feel like this whole movie is. You know all the discourse that always happens whenever anybody cosplays Junko Enoshima from Danganronpa? It's like that. That's the vibes that I get. Like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, like, I don't... I don't know what the jumping off point is for this film. Like, I don't know where we start because it's just like a fucking tire fire from like.
Well, this movie spends 15 whole minutes of your life talking about her childhood and who she was in elementary school. 15 whole minutes of everybody's life talking about that. So maybe that's
where we start with just like. Okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Meg, but.
No, please lead us into that long good night because it's about to happen.
So,
like,
about to.
Regarding Cruella.
Okay.
Okay, wait, hold on. Sorry, I'm gonna interrupt you.
Okay.
Not yet. We're not ready yet.
No. It's, I swear to God. It's A, I have to plug in my headphones. B, need to do the thing where we intro our names, and I'm gonna have to start my audio over, so we should.
Okay. Wait, make sure everything's going. And I did forget to do an introduction to the podcast.
Housekeeping.
Into our lovely guest, Meg.
That's me.
Okay, are you ready, Adeline?
That's me.
Hold.
I'm recording. I've been recording.
Hold. I'm just gonna delete everything that I have. Over.
Don't touch me there.
Okay, we're good.
Okay.
We've done it.
Loose, hi. What's up, fam? My name's Jackson McMurray.
Loose.
My name's, Adeline. No, actually, it's Sadaline McMurray.
It's your persona.
Oh, no.
That's my persona. That's my evil girl boss persona, is Sadaline. Maybe Badaline.
Yeah, Badaline's much better.
And my name is Kezia Rhodes. And today we are joined by the wonderful Cosmonaut Meg.
Hello.
For a wonderful discourse on
girl bossmonaut Meg.
Oh, that's good. That was good. I kind of
girl bossmonaut Meg.
I tend to forget to let people plug their own things at the beginning while people are here. So Meg, would you like to plug anything before we get going?
I don't have, obviously, check out our YouTube channel, The Cosmonaut Variety Hour. It is full of so many fun and exciting things. Most recently, a video that is being copyright striked, so that's fun. We love that's girl boss energy.
Is that the Dark of the Moon video?
Yes.
I haven't sat down on it yet, but I've been looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, it's a good one. I participated in this one for like 2 seconds.
Oh, nice. So
behind the camera. But
oh yeah, producer.
But I guess this is like the first time I can actually say this. I'm working on something separately to Cosmonaut shit. So that is coming up soon in the form of maybe a YouTube channel or a podcast, where I am a dating coach. So I've decided. Yeah, I've decided that in light of recent events, i.e. my Twitter account, I've decided that the world needs a better class of dater person. I was trying to make some kind of play off of the Dark Knight thing, but it wasn't working out. Anyway, yeah. People need fucking help, and I am here to provide that help because I am a saint, and this is my way of getting. Yeah, this is my way of getting canonized by the Catholic Church.
Nice.
So
there we go.
Okay.
Is there a TV show, like a dating show, that you feel like is just really like hitting their stride, their sweet spot right now?
No, I have no love or respect for any fucking dating show past. We, as a society, we peaked with Flavor of Love. We peaked a little bit again with Rock of Love, but then it was just downhill.
What about The Bachelor?
We need another of love.
Your heart.
The Bachelor. Wow. It doesn't even exist in my sphere of influence. It's just Flavor Flav.
Did you see Listen to Your Heart? Because what a time. It was so confusing.
Keisha, are you describing to me a musical episode of the TV show The Bachelor?
No. I'm describing a whole musical spin-off of The Bachelor.
Oh.
So it was...
I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't know.
They like gathered up a bunch of musicians and then they like paired up based off of who they like gave each other roses, like Bachelor in Paradise style. So like there were an uneven amount of men and women. So like not all of the pairs not everyone made it. And then from then on, It was just a singing competition.
Oh,
I'm like
yeah.
trying to look this up on my phone right now. I'm literally trying to Google this on my phone while you're talking. Like, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just like,
no, it's okay.
I can't like comprehend this. Like, this is insane.
I only watched this because it was on right as quarantine set in, and I had like just ended.
They planned that. They planned.
It must have known. So when they're getting critiqued on their music, they have a musician who's like, you know, you sounded pretty good. You're kind of flat here. Like, you need to like connect with the audience more. But then they also had former Bachelor and Bachelorette contestants judge them on their chemistry.
I don't like it.
They were like,
are they only singing? Are they only singing, or are they playing instruments also?
They're singing. I think some of them played instruments, but like it's just like based off of their performance. Like it's not like. So they would like.
So it's not theater kids. It's not theater kids.
It's like
could be, but it's
guitar
not.
kids. It's guitar kids.
Okay,
it's
gotcha.
guitar.
So like the best pair at performing, like they were by far the best, like sounded the best, but they had the worst chemistry, I guess. Like they just obviously like weren't into each other very much. So they lost.
Yeah.
Oh.
But they're the best ones. So what is this show?
Okay.
And what if The Mask was like, hey, this is a dating show now. We're gonna match up
like
all these B-list celebrities.
Oh god, yeah, the Mask Singer.
The Mask
with Jim Carrey.
Not to be confused with the masterpiece that is.
What
Jim
if also
Carrey.
that?
What if we got Jim Carrey on Masked Singer, and then he wore a
Jim
different mask?
Carrey.
It would be like a
Jim
big
Carrey
switch.
belongs in jail. Like Jim Carrey shouldn't be allowed to date anymore.
Right. But
Yeah,
should he
Jim
be
Carrey
allowed
and
to
Matthew
sing
Perry.
on TV and be surprised when he's not Tony Hawk? I think that's a basic human right, personally.
Yeah.
I think so. I think you're right.
So, as I was saying,
Okay.
Cruella.
Before we had to do the podcast.
So, just to set up, here's the tension of this episode, okay?
Oh god, here we go.
3 out of 4 hosts of the show think this movie's trash garbage, but I'm not like other girls, much like Cruella. And I believe this movie's pretty good. I think it's pretty okay. And I want to lay out my case right up top, okay? This is how I want to begin the show.
Okay, I will say
case.
though, you're the fucking 10th dentist that doesn't recommend Colgate.
Right.
Fucking
Exactly.
freak. I just want to let you know that.
Okay, well,
like, you
I
are
like to
that
think
freak
it's the
dentist
opposite.
that's like, Colgate sucks. Like,
It sucks. Rips your teeth out.
Yeah.
I used it, then all my teeth bled.
Rips your teeth out.
Yeah.
It's actually just super glue. You're gorilla gluing your
gluing your teeth. Don't
Colgate,
do that.
the only toothpaste with Gorilla Grip.
She's
I hate it.
Here's my case. Okay. First of all, every single Disney live-action movie. This isn't necessarily a live-action remake of a movie in the same way that like Christopher Robin or like Maleficent are, but like it's
Maleficent isn't.
like these Walt Disney Studios animated movies always feel like they're just sort of congealed by an algorithm, right? Even when they get fucking like Guy Ritchie or like somebody really stylish and unique like Nicky Caro, even when you get those kind of people in on it, you're disappointed every single time. You're like, this Aladdin movie does not feel like a Guy Ritchie movie at all. This feels nothing like any person had to do with it.
Wait, did Guy Ritchie direct Aladdin?
Guy Ritchie directed Aladdin.
You're lying.
You can't fucking tell. You wouldn't be able to tell.
I didn't watch it, but like I did not have any desire. That's insane. That's bad. I don't.
But this movie, Cruella, feels like it was made by people, which is not something I could say about any other Walt Disney Studios live action movie. That
doesn't necessarily mean people with taste, though. That doesn't necessarily mean people with taste.
Granted. But I think, and because this movie is directed by Craig Gillespie, who, I don't know like a lot of his work, but I am a huge fan of I, Tonya. Right.
Yeah.
I, Tonya was like one of my favorite movies of that year. And like seeing, like this is very much a gig that he gets because of I, Tonya, it feels like. It's like playing in a lot of the same headspaces. It's got the same like sort of like period piece needle drop kind of thing going on, and like the internal monologues, and like having like and like what I really like about I, Tonya is its ability to like take somebody who has always been sort of a punching bag, but like engender empathy to them without fully like bailing them out of the things that they did, you know? And I like just like, you know, viewing it with these ideas like kicking around, I think it informs the way I look at it. And I feel a director's touch, I feel an auteur's touch to this movie in a way that is absolutely not done in any other Walt Disney Live Action Studios movie. That is my number one thing.
I think I agree with you when it comes to the cinematography and the direction. This movie looks really good. And that is something that a lot of the Disney remakes have for them, is that they all look really, really nice, but they're just like empty nothingnesses.
Right.
I think this one does have like aesthetic ideas that it's like playing with. I think it was directed well and like the cinematography is good. I do think that the script was written by a monkey who had seen Birds of Prey and then The Devil Wears Prada, because that's really where it falls apart. Is what the fuck are we doing?
Harley Quinn, Devil Wears Prada.
It's just like.
Well, no, I mean, go ahead.
So like I'll just say like the nice things first, I guess, and get the nice
get
things
them out of the way.
Let's just get these out into the disagree for the most part on the movie looking nice, because it had this weird pale yellow filter that kind of washed everything out and like made these beautiful costumes, which were really cool. Like the costumes, there's my nice thing. The costumes slapped. Wish I could have seen more of them.
I like that
moth
dress.
The garbage dress. The garbage dress. That was such a.
Someone was wearing the moth dress when the moths hatched, though.
True.
Yeah. Like they're like on the runway. That would have been cool.
Oh.
Yeah. But like the moth dress was really cool. And like there's like a lot of like fashion history injected into the costumes, which was kind of nice to see. But even like some of them were like toned, like the thing was like the movie could not stay in one lane. It could not pick like if it wanted to be cartoonish or if it wanted to be rooted in realism. And that was my biggest fucking problem with it. Because there are so many of these like very over the top, stupid like kids movie moments where you're like, who is this for? Like, I know that was like a huge critique before the movie even came out, where a bunch of people were like asking, like, who the fuck is this movie for?
Right.
Because it's not for kids, it's boring.
Yeah.
But it's not for adults either.
Murder.
Because
we talk about murder a lot.
I mean, do we want to just like rip that band-aid and talk about the dog murder? Like, do we want to talk about dog murder?
I think it's 11 to 13-year-olds. I think to me, I was like, this is who.
If you were a
maybe
9-year-old girl, you would eat this up, right?
No, if I was a 9-year-old girl, I would hate it. I would hate it.
This feels exactly like the Ever After dolls, where they took all of the Disney princesses. I guess also Descendants, where they took all the princesses and like had their kids and gave them dark backstories. This would absolutely. She would show up with her bob. She would look like Sia with her
Cruella is in Descendants.
Yeah.
Is she?
Yeah,
this
she's
does
the mom.
I thought we were all on the same
dog.
page that Descendants
Sounds
was
like
good,
something
so.
that would just come right out of that.
Yeah, it's Cameron Boyce. May he rest in peace. His mom.
Yeah.
I mean, look.
I haven't seen that movie, but I know
what I want to say, I did see it in theaters. This morning, which might affect.
Yeah, my apologies.
Right.
By the way.
Don't apologize, because I thought it was good.
You risked your fucking life for that movie.
I did.
So, hey.
I'm vaccinated. There is, I don't know. All I can say is I didn't think it was boring. I think it's definitely like too long, and there are definitely like some scenes that I could have done without, just in terms of like letting this thing like move. But like, there's a certain point like when she's with Emma Thompson, like in that building, like working it out, I was like engrossed. I was like, this is great. I'm just enjoying myself. I'm just having a good time. And like all of the Disney live action movies are so fucking dead-eyed and boring, and like this movie like moves, like it is, like I feel like it has momentum to it. I feel like it's doing something. It feels like it's building up to something, and it's like a story that's like its own thing that you haven't seen before. You know, I mean, it is like Devil Wears Prada, obviously, but like, you know, like that was just my whole thing. And I guess that's just a disagreement. Me seeing it in theaters could factor into it, but just, I don't know, I just want to say I didn't think it was boring. I was rarely, if ever, bored while I was watching it. But, I mean, that's pretty much basically my whole defense, was that I thought it was good, and I could feel that people made it, and I wasn't bored, and I had a good time, and I liked the costumes, and I liked seeing a bunch of beloved actors be bad at having English accents.
Right.
So I was just saying
But the boring, the issue of it being boring aside, like, because for me, it wasn't that it was necessarily boring, because, like, I think there's, like, two different types of boring, in my opinion. There's boring when it's just sluggishly paced, and you're like, oh my god, all right, like, fucking say something. And then there's boring where it's like, I know what's going to happen. Nothing here is exciting to me because I could tell you how this movie is going to end, which is like, so, and then also, for me, the shit was not the boring part of it. It was the fact that she's so, that is not Cruella de Vil. You could have named that bitch anything else, changed your hair color, and it would have been the same movie. It would have been the same. Because the thing is, like, they gave so much life and personality to Cruella in the 90s 101 Dalmatian movies. I did my homework, like, literally right before I got on this call, because I was like, I'm not crazy.
Glenn
I
Close.
know Glenn Close. And she was an executive producer on this movie. So what the fuck happened? Like, I really just, like, the whole time I was like, how did this get made? Like, how did people sit in a studio and go, yeah, that's it. That's we got it.
I will say, like, I think that like Emma Stone gives like a pretty good performance. Like, it's like, if there is life behind it, like, it feels like there's energy at least.
Yeah.
Like, it's not weird. Like in the Maleficent movie, it's not like what you're saying, like weird stone faced, like eyes glazed over, like doing a British accent.
Yeah.
But I just think that, like, Cruella de Vil is a lot more fun when she's like a bimbo and an idiot than when she's like, I'm a genius. It's hard to be a girl genius. It's me.
Yeah.
Because in the original
cartoon, necessarily
cartoons,
say she's not an idiot. I think she's just a freak. Like, she's just absolutely whole hog insane.
Yeah.
Like,
in the original cartoon, like, she's just really vapid and shallow and loves fashion and only cares about, like, furs that make her look good, and then she's willing to, like, go crazy, go nuts to, like, get what she wants, and I think that's way more fun. Like, her battling a dog or 100 dogs than, like,
her fighting a bunch of dogs.
I'm gonna take down the fashion industry. Because I am a genius and I'm a thief. I'm an expert thief and I'm an expert seductress. I'm an expert blah blah blah.
I make clothes.
And it's hard to be a genius. I was born this way, ma'am. She should be like Janet Snakehole from Parks and Rec. Like, that's what I want to see. When she's like,
she's just like,
I can afford 100 furs. Like, I'm so rich. Blah, blah, blah. Like, that's funnier to me. Like, that's better to me.
You could make her cunning, and in the sense that, like, so, like, my whole issue with the film, like, start to finish, was that, like, she's a fashion icon. Why was there not more of a focus on the fashion part? Why did you pivot to she's a robber? Where does that even come in?
I don't know why.
Because she attempts to steal dogs, so we're just gonna make her whole, like, this. She's crime woman now. Like,
it's a heist movie. Come on, it's fun.
Like, no, well, we already said it, that, like, this could have been literally anybody. It's not Cruella de Vil, but, like, from the Oedipus, like, sitting down, they were like, so this isn't actually about Cruella de Vil, because, like, it what makes 101 Dalmatians so great, and she's like this campy, awesome, fun villain, is because she's the villain. We don't have to justify it. She can just be fucking crazy and be fashionable. We're like, hell yeah, there's Cruella. But in this movie, she's not the villain. She, like, doesn't do anything bad other than pickpocket people.
We never see her kill a fucking single dog. Yeah,
she doesn't do anything bad. She's not the villain.
People, though.
We sure as hell watch those dogs kill some people. But, like, it's not... They're just, like, totally, like, the amount of lore, quote-unquote, that we get in 101 Dalmatians is literally just like, oh, she's, like, this crazy fashion lady, and she went to school with Anita, and she's, like, this person who's, like, squandered her fortune on, like, robes and furs and all this stuff, and they have that, like, dilapidated old house that they take the Dalmatians to, like, she is an established person, And instead of like taking that idea, like I think they could have kind of gone like with like a Marie Antoinette kind of vibe of like, oh, this like rich lady who's just like squandered everything, you know? Like they could have done something like that, but instead they just like scrapped the entire character and did whatever the fuck they want. And I don't give a shit that Cruella de Vil was bullied in elementary school. I don't
like even if you want to do like the progression from her youth to an older woman, do like a completely different perspective. Like I was like explaining this before, like how I would have done this fucking movie is that like have her be a fashion student. Why does she need to be a poor like thief? Like I mean, not to be like, oh, like, you know, poor
so
like
that she
characters
can meet
that have
Jasper and Horace.
Yeah.
no,
really
also
early
yeah,
on
fucking Rosencrantz and Guildenstern who did not need to be there. It's also like
she
just hires them.
for 101 Dalmatians. She
Yeah,
hires them for one
They're just
job.
goons. They're just goons.
Literally,
Her
it's
family.
but that's also telling. Okay, but that's also telling to why the script is bad, because it's insulting to say this strong female character cannot stand on her own by herself. She's not interesting enough. We need two fucking idiots to fucking like make her likable even more. And then like, okay, like you could have just been like, she's a fashion student. She's really competitive. Her competition is this like, you know, earth-loving, like very like anti-furs, anti-whatever, and she's like a very like spoiled, pampered, comes from family with like furs. She could have been in the like her like a descendant of someone in the furs industry, so she's like really into fur. And then like her whole and then like have the
be Anita, yeah.
Well, not even be Anita. You could just make Anita another student. She could be in there naturally, organically, by saying she was another student in the fashion school, and like have her play like the dynamic. She could be like the middleman between her and the competition, because it was the most fun I had watching that movie was Emma Thompson doing her job flawlessly.
Yeah, dude.
Because like Emma Stone, in my opinion, sucks. She just like has the charisma of a dying animal. Like there's like she can do comedy really well, and that's fun, and that like, but like her in like more serious roles, it's just not believable to me. It's the same problem I had with Kristen Wiig with Wonder Woman 1984. You could not make me believe. You could not make me believe that this woman was deranged, because she has like one bad night. She's like on one, and she just turns around to Jasper.
Seen Joker
and, like,
before? Hello.
And like,
we all know Joker was just one bad night.
No, but and that's the same.
You know, sometimes your mom tries to murder you several times, and like, that really messes with your psyche.
It's the same thing with Joker. It literally was just like woman Joker. Like there were actual similarities between Todd Phillips' Joker and this movie that like upset me, because I was like, I don't want to relive this again. I already did this. I already did this, and it's not the first time.
Deserve a Joker?
No,
I already got one. Which is the Joker?
Yeah, the Joker is a girl boss in himself. Like the Joker is all encompassing, and like to say that the Joker can't be a girl boss is offensive and not fair.
Yeah, come on, Jackson.
Okay, all right,
come on now.
Fine.
So,
Joker
but
was
yeah,
Joker for girls.
like,
I'm sorry.
Point being, and also like,
yeah, like
Dr. Joker is Joker.
Dr. Pepper for women.
Yeah, exactly. And like Cruella's whole shit is that she's into fashion, and it like the small glimmers that we see of her in fashion are so fleeting and so short and so disappointing, because like you could have fucking gotten balls to the wall with costuming. You could have made this crazy, fun, exciting like fashion show of a movie, because that's literally like her whole personality outside of like wanting to kill dogs is that she loves fashion and being rich and fantastic, because Glenn Close acted the shit out of it in 1996. But instead you're like, no, let's like give her fucking idiot number one and idiot number two to like help her steal things, and she's just kind of gonna stumble her way through this movie into like getting what she wants in the end, which is just so pointless. And like it's just like no one really like had a motive that you could believe in, except for Emma Thompson's character, the Baroness. She was the only one that like okay, yeah, like you're actually fucking insane.
Right.
Like, you know,
they do this thing. They do this thing. Like, first of all, we kind of talked about we keep talking over each other because of lag, but it's fine. But we'll stop and then go and then stop and then go because we're trying not to interrupt each other. It's fine. But we talked about this in the group chat a little bit, where it's not like what bothers me so much is that like the plot that it's stealing from The Devil Wears Prada is the idea that like women have to be rude and cutthroat in order to survive. And then we label them as bitches when blah, 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 when men don't get that same stigma, blah, blah, blah. But it doesn't do that. Because first of all, Emma Thompson, the Baroness, first of all, she's just like crazy. She's not pushed to being crazy by being in the fashion industry. When she has a baby, she just like tears the room apart and then throws the baby away. Like, she's just crazy. Like, that's... we're not making a statement about anything. She's just crazy. And then she gives birth to her daughter, so of course her daughter's crazy because crazy is genetic. Blah, 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 blah. It's stupid.
Right.
But it's like... You could have done, like, they just didn't do it. Like, I lost my train of thought just because I'm mad. But, like, they could have done that plot. There's so many things they could have done with the fashion industry. Because, like, we've made 10 billion movies about how fucked up the fashion industry is, especially with its relationship with women. And the fact that this movie just does nothing. Like, her motivation, like, Cruella's motivation is, like, I want to be a designer. And then her motivation is, I want to steal a necklace. And then her motivation is, I want to kill Emma Thompson / just say fuck you to her, I guess. And then the movie's over. And she's a good guy. She never did anything bad the whole movie. Like, her motivation never makes any sense. Like, it just flip-flops so much.
Yeah. I mean, I think to amend, like, my previous statement about why it's good, I think a lot of what I think is fun about Cruella, like, as a character and, like, the journey she goes on in this movie, fully and completely does not square with Cruella de Vil from 101 Dalmatians. And I know that, and I accept that, and I've moved on. Like, that's just me. I mean, like, this has got to be something else that's fun.
If, like, you, like, told me to sit down and watch this movie and was like, this is not about 101 Dalmatians, Cruella. There's just similarities. Just don't worry about it. Don't even think about it.
Yeah.
I'd be like, it's still too long. That movie could have been a tight 90. Start to finish, awesome. And it would have been, because you cut the fat, trim the fucking fat. We don't need that extremely bloated intro scene. Again, who are, like, these, like, wacky hijinks? Like, who, like, because the thing is, like, that really is just for children when you do shit like that. Like, there's ways to make action sequences exciting. The Pirates of the Caribbean movies are perfect examples of movies that are for technically all ages, that are PG-13, made by Disney, that have extremely lengthy action sequences that are fun and exciting and engaging. But, like, you don't see that in this movie at all.
Right.
At all. And it's like, I don't know how they didn't have, like, those moments where it's like, we need to reshoot this. Like with Birds of Prey, where they're like, these action sequences suck. And, like, this is the whole thing here is
it's
that,
an action movie, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, and, like, again, with the movie not being able to pick a lane, did you want it to be rooted in realism and drama and, like, make it like a Todd Phillips Joker? Or did you want it to be more cartoon and light, like the Glenn Close version, which is, like extremely ridiculous and fun and over the top?
I really like the idea of, like, she starts off, like, decently normal instead of literally being born with black and white hair and, like, inherently just, like, rude to other kids or gets in trouble for some reason, I guess. Yeah. Because she's like,
a genius.
Because she's a genius and she's misunderstood. And
it's Rick and Morty, she's a genius, so she has to be mean.
But, like, what if she starts off normal and she gets into school and it's, like, hella competitive and she's just driven insane by working so hard, which is a critique on, like, girl boss culture and, like, just working yourself to death. Like, speaking as someone who literally just worked 14 days in a row, I worked, like, 80 hours last week. Like, you feel burnout, and that burnout makes you, like, act poorly towards things, and maybe you'd be willing to, like, go so far as to, like, kill a dog for a coat.
Or
whatever. Like, just a random example.
Just a crazy thought. Yeah. I mean, like, my biggest issue, and I was saying this in the Discord call earlier, like, when I watched the movie, I said, Disney, for a studio that makes a lot of movies with dead fucking parents, they don't know what grief is at all. I don't think anyone in the history of Disney, except for, like, maybe Bambi, because Walt lost his mom, but, like, I don't think these people know what it's like to lose a parent. I mean, like, Lion King is the closest and most empathetic and real and raw depiction of what it's like to
Denial.
lose a parent as a child. Like, especially when you lose a parent as a child. As a professional on this subject, I actually am a doctor in this because I have a dead dad. It's not fun, and you're fucked up for the rest of your life. And, like, why they didn't really lean into that, like, okay, her mom's dead, so, like, maybe she has, a complex. No, it's just, like, stealing. That's the first thing she goes to, is theft. And it's like, what? Why?
Also,
Why? Like...
I just think it's so funny. They're like, let's subvert their expectations because they think Cruella is gonna kill these Dalmatians.
Right, and then she
So what if these Dalmatians kill her mom? What if you didn't expect that, did you?
Yeah.
And
now you know.
That's
now we
know
why she kills dogs.
Just kill those dogs.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. We had 5 distinct friend dogs, and not a one of them got hurt the whole movie.
Yeah.
Right.
I love Wink.
Okay, the little moment where Paul Walter
again.
Hauser's like, people look like their dogs, and he's like, very
But that's
funny.
literally just
like the leading moment. That's like a 2-minute scene, a 1 minute moment.
Paul
Like,
Walter Hauser looks like that chihuahua.
yeah.
That's from 101 Dalmatians. There's a whole sequence at the beginning.
I know that.
But they don't need to say, like, that's what's like fun and cute about 101 Dalmatians is that when they're like walking through, like all of the dogs have the same personality as their owners,
Right.
and that's fun and cute. Instead of being like, have you ever noticed that
Do you get
sometimes
it?
dogs?
What's funny is that
Think
Paul
about
Walter
their
Hauser
own
looks like that
sometimes.
chihuahua.
It's
That's
so
fine, but don't explain it. Don't speak
Yeah.
it out loud to me. Just show me. They never say that in the cartoon, which is for children. They're just like, he's just like, no, too old, no, too young. Like,
Right.
oh, that's like too stuck up, like not stuck up enough. Like, and then you get it. You're like, it's funny because they're the same as their dog.
Okay.
They're
It's
She's
just
wearing a
It's
fluffy
writing
hat and she has a
101.
poodle.
Yeah, it's writing 101 of show me, don't tell me. And like a lot
I
of
like the moment, but don't explain it.
You
Right,
guys have
well,
convinced me it wasn't funny. I didn't laugh.
a lot of Cruella was just the writers going, do you get it? Do you get it? Are you sure? Do you get it? She's correct. Because like she flips overnight. It is one scene of her staring at the London Bridge and she turns around and then she's fucking weird for the rest of the movie. And then Jasper's like, hey, you're weird as shit. What's going on? Like,
Why are you being mean?
Yeah, and also, why
Yeah.
does Jasper have to be the straight man? How come? He was an idiot in the original.
why do they have to be there, period? Like, they don't need to be there. Why was Mark Strong there? Mark, go home.
No, Mark Strong's great.
Mark, bud, they need you over on the Kingsman set, buddy.
Mark.
Go home.
Mark.
The only Marky Mark I recognize.
You don't need to be here, Mark King. You're too good for this. Go home.
Okay, here's something I think we can
Like-
all agree on, though. I think this is a point
Hold
that
on.
could be universal.
Hold on, I
Okay.
have a question first.
Okay, yes, Adeline.
What is Anita's husband's name? What's his
Roger.
name? Roger. Okay,
Roger
I'll bring that up
Okay.
in a second.
Okay.
You go,
Okay.
Jackson.
Here's
Sure.
something that I think we can all universally agree on. I think it is that CGI dogs should be illegal.
They should be
Yeah,
illegal.
I mean,
no
absolutely.
more CGI dogs.
Why
Why?
is CGI so much of the movie?
Yeah, it's
so
weird.
much of the
They
movie.
look so bad, and you're never
Yeah.
not thinking about the
They
fact
don't
that
look
they're
like
CG.
dogs.
And then it turns
Yeah.
into a
Look like
game where
dogs.
you're trying to figure out whether they're CGI or not in every single shot. And most of the
Right.
time they are, but every once in a while they're not. And it's like pulls you so far out of it being like, why was it a real dog for that one? That seemed kind of dangerous. Why was it
Right.
CGI for when he was just
Why is
looking
it CGI
around,
when he's just
like-
standing there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because a real dog can't go, wah.
Should we do the Harrison Ford Call of the Wild movie someday?
It's so scary.
It's the
so scary.
worst.
Please leave me
It's
out
a
for that
scary
one. And
dog.
I'm suddenly busy for the rest of the calendar year because
Yeah.
I don't want to
If you
experience that.
wanted to do a dog's purpose, though, I would do
But
it.
that's a real dog. That's the whole problem with
It's
that movie.
it's
is
a
that
bunch of real
dog.
dogs.
Yeah.
A bunch of real dogs.
He didn't
I
like
don't know
that
where
one.
the more CGI dogs. I can't think of any.
Yeah.
But my point was I was making about Anita and Roger is they do this they do the Disney thing, and I'm gonna step very lightly, because whenever we have the conversations about forced diversity, I want to specify that not all diversity is forced diversity. When you make Anita black and then have her do nothing, it just feels like, because Disney does this all the time, where they take white characters and make the people of color, and then just do fucking nothing with them, and they're like, we did it, that's what you wanted, right? You wanted this character to do absolutely nothing, right? So I think Anita being black was just weird. It just felt like Disney trying to get brownie points. If they wanted to include her more and have that be a part of our story, we're in the fucking 60s, and she's a black reporter, and we're not saying fucking anything. Like, say something about that. But the fact that Anita and
that scene in The Princess and the Frog when they're like, a young woman of your background.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
They're not gonna say what it is, but you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Version.
Yeah.
And the fact that they, like, Anita and Roger don't even talk in this whole movie.
Well,
do they even know that each other
scene,
exists?
Adeline. You didn't watch the post-credit
I didn't watch the post-credit
They didn't talk in that either. They just get dogs from CRUELLA.
That makes sense because they have their whole meet cute after, like, they get the dogs with Pago and Perdita. Like, that's, like, literally the whole...
So, just to clarify, this is a prequel. Just
Well, I mean, it's not, because it takes place in the time zone that's after the original. So you just gotta think
it'll be taking place,
because
the original took place in the 60s, so this one took place in the 70s. So when she does kill those dogs, because she's going to in the future, it's going to be in the 80s.
Yeah, she did say that the sixth step of, like, grief is revenge, and she's gonna get revenge on those Dalmatian dogs, damn it.
And Anita, who helped her out a lot, honestly.
Just a quick interruption. I just want to make a note of our Twitch chat, which is going wild right now, which I appreciate. I just want to, like, shout people out. Somebody, I don't know these people. It seems like some of them are friends of yours, Meg, but Alex.
Oh, I did not notice.
Squid Inky.
Oh, exit.
Julio.
Julio.
Kastrowski 7.
Oh, that's Cheyenne.
Lots of fun folks, and I'm, it's with the format of this show, it can be a little hard to keep an eye on the chat sometimes, but
I would like to look at this chat.
I just want to let you guys know that we see you, and
also hi Woo Jumbo on the YouTube
yes,
chat.
YouTube channel.
On the YouTube.
Oh, we forgot to say this at the beginning. This is our last week streaming on YouTube. Maybe in the podcast, maybe I'll put this back at the beginning. We're going Twitch only starting next week. And there will still
YouTube is killing them.
Yes, there will still.
It really is.
There will still be VODs on YouTube same day. But from now on, the actual stream is going to be all Twitch all the time, and that's where we want to start cultivating people. So yeah, and also, if you're here and you're new, you can subscribe to us on Twitch. You can, follow, I guess. I don't know what the terminology is, because I don't think we have it set up that we can have people subscribe yet. I think I need to, like, do something that allows Twitch to let people give us money, and I don't think I've done that yet. But follow and check back, and we're having fun every week over here. Anyway, sorry, bad interruption of the podcast.
I don't know how fun this is. This is just people just watch a bunch of adults scream. Please.
CRUELLA.
We're in pain. We're in pain.
Oh, but who said it?
But,
like, as far as whether it's worth paying $30 for, no. I don't think any movie really is worth $30. We split it 4 ways, and that's, like, appropriate, I think. Like, I bought a movie ticket.
Which is also kind of like what they're expecting.
Because you're supposed to be like a family.
Me and the kid, you can make my 12-year-old pay me money to see the fucking Emma Stone mental breakdown movie.
Yeah, maybe I'll show this to my students this week too.
You should.
Don't do that to them.
You should.
You get something to learn.
I have a movie for you here.
Cruel.
It's about a 7 out of 10. It's, like, pretty good. That's what you should say.
It's gonna make you turn to Jesus.
Okay, wait. Are you still giving this movie a 7 out of 10?
7 out of 10,
sir?
baby. 7 out of 10.
Here's the thing. Is that
what is your wait, no. What is your 10 out of 10? I gotta know.
My 10
I
out
gotta
of 10
know
is
what's
like,
a 10 out of 10
10
for you.
it.
10 it. No, like an Oh Brother Where Art Thou? like a Swiss Army Man. Like a
Jackson loves Swiss Army
Wet
Man.
Hot American Summer.
Okay.
Wet Hot American Summer is a 10.
Get Out, Knives Out, all the outs.
Any outs.
All the Lakeith Stanfield outs.
All right. Okay.
That's funny.
Cool.
Am I painting a vivid enough picture for you?
Here's the thing here's my opinion on this movie, is that I still don't want Disney to do all of these live action remakes or weird backstories.
Yeah.
We don't have a choice. We don't have a choice. We're being held hostage to this. We have no choice.
It just like this movie still to me just feels just as reverse engineered as all of the other like here's my backstory or here's this live action version. Like we start with where we see Cruella in 101 Dalmatians and we're like, well, maybe she had a hard life before this and we see where she gets it's like in Solo where you're like, how did Solo get his last name?
Yeah.
Because he was Solo.
Solo was a pretty good movie.
I think this movie has a lot in common with Solo in the sense that it's like,
pretty good movie.
This is okay, but you don't need it to be the character it's about.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't quite square in either of those cases.
But I just don't need to find out how Han Solo got named Solo. I don't need to find out where Cruella de Vil got her name from. I don't need to find out where
not like dogs.
I don't need to find out how Chewbacca got his nickname. We already know how nicknames work.
Right, and you're right, and you're completely like valid in feeling this way. It's just like unfortunately because Hollywood has been out of ideas for a very, very long time. They saw Wicked. They saw how hard Wicked slapped. Because the thing is,
because Wicked does slap.
Right, and redemption stories can be told well. Case in point, Wicked. Subvert the audience's expectations in the sense that, like, it's not just like, oh, we feel bad for Elphaba. You fucking realize that, like, you just didn't know this entire piece of information. Like, it's, like, crazy. Like, that is done right. That is 100% right.
What if Cruella was a critique on the fast fashion industry? And, like, just how like, how harmful and toxic fast fashion is to our planet and to like other people, and she was like, you think that making a suit out of dogs is bad? You're wearing slave labor, idiot, and you just all of your clothes end up in a landfill. That's a reason, because like Wicked, she's like bad for a reason, because she's like, hey, I don't think that animals
she's an activist.
Lesser.
She's like
an activist.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, like,
go ahead.
Oh no, so like I just mean in the sense that it's like I don't like these like tragic backstories in the sense that like also one, we're weaponizing mental illness. Like let's like really just like stare it directly in the face that it's like, why are these characters that face adversity like mentally ill? Like why does that, like some people are just fucking shitty and there's like nothing wrong with them. Like it's fucked up to be like, especially in the case of like Todd Phillips' Joker, which I could go on about, like completely separate subject. It's offensive. It's insulting. It's absolutely insulting to perpetuate this myth that like people with borderline or people with schizophrenia or bipolar or narcissism can't function in society and they can't be good people. That something is going to shift them into this place where they are fucking terrible.
Right.
Like it's just not fair. It's not fair. It's extremely fucked up. Like in the case of Maleficent, which I actually don't hate. I didn't hate Maleficent. I thought the first movie, not bad. The second movie felt like waterboarding. But
Michelle Pfeiffer's in the second one, though. That's fun. We love Michelle.
Yeah, but like I could just watch it.
I didn't see it. I didn't watch it.
Yeah. But like, you know, in the case of like Maleficent, like she's like the metaphor is that she's raped and that she has a very valid reason to be spiteful against the human race. She's like completely within her rights to do so. And it's like not like weaponizing mental illness quite the same way. It's like saying like some people sometimes respond to drama by getting even. And like in the case of like Cruella, it's just like, okay, she was traumatized, but it's going beyond the whole getting even thing. Now she's just like has split personality. She's DID for some reason.
Yeah.
Well,
I
have two things to say. First of all, somebody in the chat has just brought it to my attention that apparently Marcus likes this movie. I haven't met Marcus, but
no, Marcus loves Solo. Marcus loves Solo. That was, I think, in regards to him loving Solo.
Do we know for sure Marcus doesn't like Cruella?
He does not like Cruella.
He did.
I'm gonna choose to believe so. I don't know. No, okay.
There's a lot of elements in Solo that are similar to Cruella.
I will advocate for Marcus Ryan Turner on this one as someone that shared the same brain cell as him for a full calendar year of my life. No, he probably wouldn't like Cruella.
Well,
he would hate it.
But
he
anyway.
would laugh. For sure.
Alden Ehrenreich.
But if you love Solo, you also love Cruella.
True.
No, I don't like that logic. Bad
logic.
Bad logic.
No, okay, but here's the other thing. This is a serious thing. Not that I need to, like, present my bona fides, but, like, speaking as somebody who's had a partner with autism for a very long time and has sort of spent a lot of time learning about these sort of things, I do like...
So just to clarify, that Jackson has had a partner with autism for a long time, but Anna's had autism for even longer than
yeah, I mean, she's not here.
I know. It just sounded funny the way that you phrased it.
It
was like,
anyway.
It's like, has your partner had autism for a long time, or have you had this partner with autism for a long time?
No, okay. But, like, I think there's a reading of
anyway, you're born with autism. It's not from vaccines.
Yes, of course.
Sorry.
Like, and, you know, obviously I'm trying to, like, tread lightly here, and I saw this movie 4 hours ago, so maybe I'll, you know,
these are all fresh takes. This is first viewing.
But I think, like, you know, thinking about it as a perspective, as, like, looking at it as like BPD or something like that, like these things that make you just like really, that make it difficult for you to interact with people the way people expect you to interact with them. And I think the way this movie, a lot of what this movie is sort of more about like interpersonal unkindness than it is about like, you know, bigger picture unkindness. Because a lot of it is like, she goes to this job and it like encourages her to be unkind to the people she loves, and they're like, hey, we're upset, and then she like sort of learns and like synthesizes some things, and like I totally just lost my complete train of thought, Jesus. But like what I'm saying is like, I think this movie works really well if you're thinking about it as BPD and being able to sort of like synthesize and understand and like realize what exactly it is about you that makes it just obviously not impossible, but more difficult for you to interact with people, and being able to own it, being able to acknowledge it and understand it and synthesize it within yourself, and, you know, find a balance between, you know, living and accepting your disability while also, you know, moving on and improving yourself and helping your relationships with other people, you know? That's sort of the biggest thing that I was taking away from the final act of this movie. Does that make any sense at all?
But yeah, we have to specify
that
Cruella does not.
Sounds like it doesn't not going over well.
No, I was gonna say we have to specify that Cruella in this movie is not a bad guy. She does nothing wrong, and that's what really separates it from the Joker. It's because the Joker kills people and does a whole bunch of bad things at the end of the Joker. At the end of this movie, Cruella has done nothing wrong, basically.
Right. However, the glaring issue here still, though, is the fact that it's the implication that what is she to become? And again, it is insulting. It's insulting because, like, it's just using mental illness as a pawn to either demonize or justify one's actions. And it's like, especially, it's a very nuanced conversation. And it's unfortunate because I do think to an extent, with especially in the case of Todd Phillips' Joker, there was a conversation to be had. Had the movie kind of like not gone so off the rails, because I feel like Todd Phillips' Joker just takes a fucking hard left and just stays there. But if it hadn't gone so far, it would have actually been maybe a thoughtful discussion on how we do abandon people who suffer from mental illness and disorders and are not that are people that are neurodivergent and in that sense. But it's insulting to take this cartoonish, outlandish, ridiculous woman and go, oh, she has DID. You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't. I'm sorry. Not in fucking 2021. You cannot do that. It's not appropriate.
I just want to punch in because I want to elaborate a little bit more on my take before we go off somewhere else. Because I think that, like, sorry, I'm just thinking very hard about how to word it. But, like, I think that, like, obviously, like I said, it just doesn't square with, like, the 101 Dalmatians Cruella de Vil, because I don't think anything in this movie really does. And, like, I guess that's just the way my brain works, is I tend to view things as individual pieces versus, like, parts of a tapestry. It's kind of what we fight about Last Jedi, too, where it's like, I think Last Jedi's good on its own, and, like, I don't think Rise of Skywalker makes Last Jedi less good, and I don't think that...
And I think it does.
It's backwards.
He
but
was
I
wrong.
don't think that 101 Dalmatians makes Cruella less good. But, like, I think that, and I think that's just the part of it, right? Because I think so much of the movie and, like, the lesson she learns, and, like, the fact that she learns any lesson at all doesn't square with Cruella de Vil, but, like, it's all about her, like, using the relationships she forms throughout the movie to move on to success, to, like, get what she wants, right? Which is something that has always been very hard for her, clearly. And so I guess that's just where it's coming from, right? It's about her being able to acknowledge that she has a hard time with relationships. And when I don't think it's meant to be like she has, like, split personality. I don't think that's necessarily what...
Well, they say that. They say that with their whole chest at one point. Like, there is a line where they, like, just kind of say she's got multiple personalities.
But that can also, like, just be a figure of speech.
But even if it's a throwaway line, like, I mean, like, I'm not trying to, like, you know, be like the tone police here, but I think we've to really kind of, like, bring this tired trope on, like, oh, crazy people are bad. Like, it's just lazy writing.
Right.
It's just irresponsible at this point. It's my same point about grief with Disney. It is insane to me that this company that makes films time and time again with dead parents cannot get the grieving process right. It's just crazy to me. Like, I mean, like I was saying this earlier, what comes to mind is Rogue One, where, what's his face? Fucking dude, I cannot remember this guy's name. They're so irrelevant, all those characters to me.
Bob Dylan.
Sure.
Dylan, yes.
We're gonna call him Kyle. When Kyle talks to Felicity, when Kyle talks to Felicity Jones's character, and she's just watched her father die, like, Mads Mikkelsen has just died in front of her. Her dad that she's been looking for her whole life, to hold him in his arms as he dies, which is horrific. Cassian, that's his fucking name. Cassian.
Right, yeah.
That's pretty close to Kyle.
Yeah, close enough.
Pretty close.
It's space Kyle. So
yes,
they get back into the ship, and Cassian's like, "Hey, we're all suffering. Get over it." And she's just like, "Yeah, you're right. I should get over
will.
What? Are you insane? This woman just her whole personality was about finding her dad. And it's the same thing with Cruella. Like, would she not want to murder the person that murdered her mom? Like, that is a real thing. Like, not to give away people's private information, but know children who their father was murdered. There's a lot of fucked up shit with that. You are angry for the rest of your life for a good reason. And, like, it's like, there's so many interesting ways to, like, do that, but it's like, you can't do that in a movie that is, like, so outrageously stupid, is my point. I think that's kind of where, like, I'm landing on this, is that, like, it's just, like, so silly and so outlandish that, like, it takes a damn good writer to mix serious themes like that in with such, like, a very, like, cartoonish and childish and simple story. And, like, again, like, you know, the Joker at the end of the day, whatever way you slice it, is a pretty simple character in the sense that, like, his whole shtick is, like, being fucking insane. And, like Todd Phillips' Joker did have that attempt at being like, okay, well, what if this insanity was rooted in something else? And it's like, you can have that conversation, but you have to do it right. Or it's you're hurting a group of people that are already on a regular basis hurting. You can't do that. You can't just, like, because especially with marginalized groups with neurodivergent people, like, we're already struggling to have our voices heard, our stories told, that are not getting told by, you know, neurodivergent actors. They're getting told by people that are, you know, it's, like, insulting. It's insulting to sit there. It's like how in Hollywood they treat autism like a superpower.
Right.
That's not that's not okay. And it's like, you know, if we're not critical of this now, and if we can't keep, you know, going back to the root and going, okay, no. When like what's the line gonna be? You know what I mean? Because it's
like kind of like
well, I feel like this story was less like this is how it's really difficult to function in life with a mental illness. I feel like it was more like like she was told all her life, like, you can't be mean, you have to be nice, you're supposed to be kind, you can't treat other people this way. And so her like adopting this Cruella persona is her like taking on like, I'm just gonna be like a badass bitch, so what? Like, whatever. And like her killing off like Estella or whatever, which is also pretty close to my niece's name, which was like hard for me to get through. Just like, because it sounded
distracting.
Every time they said it, it sounded like when my brother would be like Estella. So, but that's neither here nor there. But like it didn't seem to me as much like this is a take on like what it's like living with a mental illness as much as it is like you don't need to be a kind person in society as long as you're right, which also doesn't feel like a good thing to say.
Well, it's like if bad shit happens to you, get even. Like it's like, you know,
I mean, I don't know,
which like can be done in a fun way.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but that's what I think. I think a lot of the like lessons she learns is about, and you know, like the like lesson and the messaging of it is kind of a backseat to a lot of other things, but it's more about her relationships and her interpersonal things than it is about like, you know, being good in any other sense, you know. So I tend to look at those relationships that she achieves over the course of the movie as like a more important sort of structural thing about what the movie thinks is good and important than, you know, besides like the revenge plot.
I mean, but like my problem is that the relationships that she builds are with like her friends, Horace and what's the other, Jasper.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's not like she was alone for any period of time. Like she had someone on her team, on her side.
She had her mom. She had Anita. She had them.
But like 45 seconds of the film, and then the reactions were how she was like leaving people behind or taking advantage of people or like not treating them the way that she had used to be treating them. So it's like weird to say that it's like based off of the relationships that she built, because she'd had those relationships for 10 years and they were still like in the script saying like, you know, it should be, I wish it was back to the old way that it
not
always
like
was just us, buddy. And you're like, what? Like you've been a trio for a decade.
I think that's why it's important that you start with her as a kid, because you see her being alone right at the beginning and then being able to craft the relationship there, you know, like you see her create all these relationships.
But you don't see her be alone for very long. Like you don't actually see her alone. You see her mourn her mom for a second.
You see her like
and then
mistreat her friends and be mean to them and like push people away that she cares about.
But those are her friends. She's defending Anita. Yeah. Those are the bullies.
Yeah.
Like she's like defending herself and her friend. She's not like mistreating her friends.
No, I'm talking
like
about
those
Horace
are
and
bullies.
Jasper, like throughout the movie.
Oh. Yeah.
And like I think there's too much screen time for Horace and Jasper. Far too much. And the thing is like you can have two side characters supporting your lead and have it work really well. Like case in point, Lion King. You've got Timon and Pumbaa that are backing Simba up, but Simba still feels like this fully actualized character that goes through a very interesting journey. And it's a G-rated film. I mean, like, Lion King is the perfect example of Disney doing a character arc perfectly. And, like, even in another story, like, you've got, like, I mean, I know this film's not really that great, but Anastasia, if you've seen it, like, she's got to...
We've done it on the show.
Listen, I love Anastasia with my whole soul. So, like, yeah. But, like, in the case with, like, you've got Vlad and Dimitri. They're two great other examples of like men that do not overpower the female lead.
I think
that's a perfect example.
The problem with Jasper and Horace is they're meant to be a Timon and Pumbaa, but in this movie they're like a Rafiki and Zazu.
Right.
And you're like, that's not fun. That's not fun banter.
I mean,
and like there were so many scenes with
I don't think they take up that much screen time. I think they're just like
I don't think
friends.
they take up too much screen time, but I just think that they used to be more fun than they are in this movie. I just think that like Jasper being like, we missed the old Estella. Turns out the old Estella. Like, I don't need to hear we missed the old Kanye, you know?
Yeah.
Why? Because she's dead.
She's dead. I
went the Kanye route, you guys with the T-Swiss route.
Yeah.
I think I'm uncomfortable with taking literally any lessons from this movie because I think all of the big ideas that it has, it's stolen from someone else and it has repackaged it in a way where it's less effective now. Like, I didn't get any lesson from this movie. I felt like I was just being strung along with whatever we were doing, and then the movie ended, and they have a big house now. Good for them. Like, it wasn't
Hell
like
house, woo!
Hell house. Like,
Yeah.
she's not a villain. She's not Cruella. She's just not Cruella. Like, I don't even think. It's just nothing. It's just nothing. Like, over and over again, it's just nothing. Like, I don't really think I don't really think they have anything to say about, like, mental illness. I don't think they have anything to say about, like, the fashion industry. I don't think they have anything to say about feminism. I think they just...
Well, they commit to nothing.
They commit to nothing. They took pieces of a bunch of things and did nothing. Yeah.
They present all these ideas to you and you go, oh, okay, I'd like to... Oh, nope, we're done with that. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, nope, we're done with that too. Oh, now the dogs are running around again and causing mayhem. Okay, like we got enough of that, but like there's just there's just no.
And I wouldn't even mind if they like didn't commit to anything if it was fun.
Good.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That is like
Jackson, you're the only one who had fun.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm glad you had fun. I am happy for you. But my whole thesis, my whole shit is that they did not pick a lane. If you picked a lane to stay in, like, make it fun, make it colorful, make it crazy and silly, even with the stupid newspaper headline shots that was like, we've all seen that episode of Sherlock before. We know the style of editing. You know what I mean? Like, but it, like, make it fun like that. Like, there was so much licensed music. It made my head
my god
spin.
There was like 7 needle drops in the first 20 minutes. Jackson, you hate needle drops? There were so many fucking needle drops in this movie.
I think it really grounds the setting. I think that in this particular movie, I think it's using a lot of music that, I mean, like, obviously there's a lot of, like, really on-the-nose stuff when they would use, like, Queen or whatever, but, like, a lot of it were just, like, weird little songs from the era that really made it feel... Because a lot of what makes the movie cool, to me, is just, like, the for lack of a better word, like, the aesthetic. Like, the way it looks, the way it's set, like, the fashion and the sets and the buildings, and to me, like, using those songs was just, like, a constant reinforcement
but then, like...
of that.
Right, like, but really lean into it then. Like, maybe, like, make your shot composition look like something out of the 60s. I mean, like, look at Wes Anderson. His shit looks like it's a French film from 1962. You know what I mean? And he really owns it and he leans into it. And his needle drops feel authentic. They're good. They hit right. They feel good. You're like, yeah, that's cool. Or in the case of, like, God, A Knight's Tale. That is a perfect example of doing the silly... like vibe, but like still being able to like keep everything on the rails and keep the shit and the aesthetic there. Like A Knight's Tale is like the perfect example of that because like yes, the music is obviously We Will Rock You did not exist in the 14th century. Whatever.
Probably.
But like they do it in such a good citation needed. But they do it in such like a fun way. Like when he's teaching her that dance and they start like Golden Years by Bowie starts playing, you're like, this feels good and I feel like I'm having a nice time. And we're all in on this little party and this music is fun.
What about in that one Peter Pan movie that Hugh Jackman did where they start to sing Nirvana, but like
what?
Not to any like orchestration.
I think you made this up, Kezia.
No, I didn't. It's Hugh Jackman is not. He's a pirate. It's like it's the Captain Hook prequel or something like that.
Yeah,
and Rooney Mara plays Tiger Lily.
Yeah, they have a whole ass Caucasian playing Tiger Lily, which just sucks.
Which
so bad.
I need to know which song it was.
Just so bad.
Actually, maybe I don't, because I want to imagine it's like one of the really transgressive ones from like In Utero. It's like
here. Let me try
to. My friend Alex says they know exactly what you're talking about.
Smells like Teenage Spirit.
Yeah, Teenage Spirit. It smells like Teenage Spirit. But Hugh Jackman's like, here we are now, entertainers. And like there's like thousands of pirates down below in Neverland, and it's I don't know why does that happen. Explain, America. Explain. Why?
Explain. I don't understand.
It's just like it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit.
But like you can use music to tell a story. Case in point, Guardians of the Galaxy. Like if you want to tell your story with music, do it the way God intended. And by
Guardians
God, I mean
of the
James
Gatsby.
Gunn.
Yeah.
I mean Mr. James
with the tape deck.
Fellow Leo King, who was like, I know how to do this the right way. So like you know what I mean? Like you can do the needle dropping in the right way. Or okay, this is what I was screaming about. So when I watched it, my friend Alex had made a comment because the Rolling Stones was playing, and they said, okay, what if Sympathy for the Devil starts playing? And I said, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up right now. Stop it. You stop it. Reason being, because if you guys are like vampire freaks like me, you know that in Interview with the Vampire, the iconic final scene, I really don't want to spoil anything, but this movie came out in 1994, so you gotta get over it.
You can spoil it.
Yeah.
Shut up.
For anyone that's about to be mad, get over it.
That's kind of my stance.
Spoiler alerts for an almost 30-year-old movie.
No, please don't say almost 30. That I'm born in 1994.
No.
Anyways,
Still 20s.
We're really getting sidetracked here. But in the last possible scene, Christian Slater's character, the interviewer, is leaving, and the interviewer, he gets jumped by a character that you thought was dead, and this character says, "Huh, that's funny.
I am woman. Hear me.
Let me tell my own story now." And he turns on the radio, and Sympathy with the Devil starts playing, and you're like, "Holy fucking shit!" It is this incredible, like, just curtain drop, mic drop moment, and you're like, that was cool. And that's like when music and cinema, beautiful. Chef's kiss, nothing better, baby. And like, I am biased as shit because I am a goth and I do love vampires, and that is part of my whole personality. But that being said, when Sympathy for the Devil started playing at the end of this film, I did, and I'm sure much to the dismay of my upstairs neighbors, I started screaming very loud. It was just so bad. I was like, you're kidding. Like, it was
what if they did
unreal. It was
Disguise, though, by Elvis Presley. That would have been maybe fun. Like a fun hardcore version of Devil in Disguise.
What if they did Don't Fear the Reaper?
Don't Fear the Reaper might have been better, honestly. It was just so ham-fisted with Sympathy for the Devil, and like you have now, and it was like just like taking away from like the power that song does hold, because it's a very good song, and like it is just very cool when the character in Interview with the Vampire does it, because he is quite literally the fucking devil. He's extremely evil, he's extremely shitty and selfish, and like it's fun and exciting, and you're like, this is like his theme song. This is so cool. But like in Cruella, it's just like, sure. Yep. Like you're just like, yep. Like it's like, okay, we get it. Whoa. Like it's almost as corny and bad as the titular character saying the name of the movie. You know what I mean? It's the same deal. Same deal. It was like the same energy for me. Except when it is good, which is
that's my energy
rare.
For this whole podcast is that's good though.
But what if it's good?
I like that.
If it's good, yeah.
I like that
it's just you're like you are quite literally like the devil's advocate, just like smirking, like
I'm the devil's advocate.
How can I really piss it? Like, what's my next perspective?
This is my take on most things. And it is I want to let people like stuff as long as it's not hurting someone else. So as long as I didn't tell you to not like this movie, you told me to like this movie, which I think is also line. I think you don't need to tell anyone that they need to like stuff. I don't think you need to tell anyone they shouldn't like stuff. And so if you like this movie, Jackson, I'm here to celebrate that with you. And I hope that you're here to celebrate with me that I never have to watch it again.
Yeah.
That I can forget about it tomorrow.
I like in the case, okay, and I will say this, and this is to now pit two queens against each other, Miss Wonder Woman and Miss Cruella. Which one was girl bossier and which one did I hate less? I will say, hated Cruella a lot less.
Okay. Because if you were gonna say it was worse than Wonder Woman 1984, I was gonna like leave the Discord.
No.
Okay.
I honestly don't think there's much worse than Wonder Woman 1984. Like I would probably
poor Kristen.
I would probably sign up for like getting my fingernails ripped off individually than ever have to sit through Wonder Woman 1984 again. Like I would happily
don't
be
not
like,
get your fingernails ripped off till you tried it. That's my stance.
Hey, you know, it's like
did I
miss something?
If anybody wants to roll on down to the East Coast and rip my fucking fingernails off, you know where to find me. So, but in that sense, in the sense of like which one did I hate? The bit is that
they all don't like Cruella. So the bit is I'm being contrarian. I'm saying actually I like getting my fingernails ripped off. That's the joke.
I know. I'm just saying, like physical pain is just so terrible to me. I would never choose.
No, I would sit through physical pain than have to do Wonder Woman because
I would much rather watch Wonder Woman 1984 again than like have a fingernail ripped off.
Somebody look at my fingernails.
Wonder Woman 1984 gave me severe psychic damage, and once again, like I said. As someone that is getting close to 30, I don't have a lot of time left to enjoy myself, okay?
I'm dissolving into ash.
Yeah, like Thanos snapping his fingers.
Hocus Pocus when she's like, I feel the icy breath of death upon my neck.
Yes, that is actually, I am
literally
me. Sanderson. Yes, that's me. But in that sense, I just don't like to waste my time watching stupid shit anymore. So I'm very choosy about what I watch for the most part. Not to say I didn't just watch Ellen Enchanted for the 15th time like 2 days ago, but that's not the point. The point I'm trying to make here is like, what did I like looking at more? What sounded better to me? What like felt okay in terms of performances? Cruella. Wonder Woman 1984 was bad across the board. Everyone in that movie sucked.
No dogs.
There's just not
CGI
also no dogs.
Yeah.
Also no
like
dogs.
Not even a CGI dog.
Yeah. What do you have to say about that, gal?
Okay, I do want to say,
Scientist, answer for your crimes, gal. Like
you, in spite of all this, though, you are the one who picked out Cruella for yourself today. I mean, we gave you some options. You picked between some options, but you picked Cruella.
Like, what were the options again? Just please refresh my memory because like the fact that like I did gravitate towards the girl boss movie must mean the other options were not very promising.
I mean,
we're not girl boss.
There was also Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Oh no monkey movies for me, fam. Sorry, I remember.
CGI. They have CGI horses and CGI monkeys.
So my thing is like I'm legitimately afraid of that being a reality. So,
listen, that sounds like my kind of reality.
Yeah.
No humans, all apes.
Monkey Mountain is your idea of a good time.
Did you hear? Did you hear that they de-gorilla'd Mojo Jojo for the live action Powerpuff Girls on the CW?
I don't want to dwell on
that. He's just a dude.
Why would they do it?
He's just a guy. He's just a little guy.
Bro, he's just a little man.
Guy.
So then he's just like really evil, I guess.
Wait, so hold on, wait, did they change his backstory? Is he still an old test experiment?
No, he's like
he can't be. Otherwise, that's like a crime.
He can't. It would be a criminal crime.
Yeah.
He's just a child that like was
He's just a baby that like poke with lightning bolts. But this is the fucked up CW where he had a child slave and that's how we got the idea to make little girls. What a pervert. I'm the CW. That's what it is.
It's bad and painful. I mean, like, and that also kind of like goes in
girl boss.
Whole, like, girl boss. Girl boss energy. But yeah, in the terms of like the girl bossathon, I personally like could could stomach Cruella a lot more because the costuming was interesting, the music was fine. It just sounded like what I listened to in the car with my mom. Like it was fine. It was a perfectly like okay. Like it was bad. Like I said, I would have been very upset if I saw that in theaters. Like and just been not okay with that whatsoever.
Yeah.
But I just think that like in terms of just like everything in the grand scale of things, like you know who I would have given this movie to direct, and I mean this with sincerity, and this is gonna probably the people are gonna hate me for this one, but I believe in myself.
Okay.
Tim Burton. They should have given this movie to Tim Burton. And here's why. Because I think Tim Burton is a talentless piece of shit that relies on the one
things
good
he did
movie
30 years ago.
Yeah. However, I think they would have given him a lot more freedom to do freak shit with it. And like the permissions.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. The permissions he would have been given to do wacky, kooky, weirdo shit. And tonally, it would have been a lot darker because that's just like, you know, that's his bread and butter is like, okay, like, how can I make this as gray as fucking possible and like weird? And like also like the that tracking shot, the hallway scene, I don't know if I'm using the terminology correctly. I don't know if it was a tracking shot. It's the long shot of the hallway. Was very reminiscent to me of the opening in Sweeney Todd when you're hearing the Ballad of Sweeney Todd in the background and it's flying through the alleyways and you're getting this like very full picture of London. And like I just feel like that was that hallway scene in Cruella in essence was very similar and like it could have just been done a lot snappier. And, you know, I just feel like the director they chose is very good at telling real stories of real people. Like, I, Tonya was a fantastic movie.
I love I, Tonya.
Because I did not know anything about Tonya Harding. Like, I left that film, that was my only knowledge of Tonya Harding. I spoke with my mother about it because she's pregnant with me when that whole thing was going on. So she was, like, very, like, aware of it. Because I guess when you're pregnant, you just get like more upset about things. I don't know. So yeah, you know, you're literally cooking a human being inside of you. So I guess
there's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on. But yeah, so she was pregnant with me at the time when all that shit was going on, and she was like, I was like, oh my god, Mom, you have to see I, Tonya. Like, she's like, well, what's it about? I'm like, well, it's like this woman Tonya Harding, and she goes, Tonya Harding. They made a movie about Tonya Harding?
Right.
And I was like, yeah, you know about it? She's like, of course I know about it. She's a piece of shit. Well, my mom would never say
I am still surprised about how much people hate Tonya Harding.
So mad
but
people hate her.
But I'm going to guess you guys are late 90s babies or early 2000s babies.
Yeah. I'm the year 2000.
Yeah, I figured.
I 97.
I was like...
Yeah, you're the ox, baby.
Yeah, the ox. But you are a zoomer. Congratulations.
Yes.
But yeah. So but yeah, basically keep in mind what our parents saw, what their media diet was about Tonya Harding. She was the villain. There was no empathy for her whatsoever, especially not back then.
There was no sympathy for the devil.
I mean, exactly. Are you kidding? I mean, if the media was ripping apart Princess fucking Diana,
right?
Who did I mean, of course
she hunted the AIDS.
Yeah, of course Tonya Harding was going to be like, because when I saw it in theaters, there were people laughing when she was getting hit by her husband.
Right.
Yeah. And I was like. Hello? No, I was like, and then
I remember when they invited Tonya Harding to the Golden Globes, people were pissed that year. It's like 30 years since that happened.
Because,
and they're like, how dare they invite her to the Golden Globes?
And I mean,
she was mean.
Yeah, and because you have to keep in mind, like, the news... Well, the news cycle was constant about that Nancy Kerrigan's career was just destroyed.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's this, you get this, like, again, it's like weaponizing white women tears. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like this tragic character of, oh, poor Nancy. I mean, Nancy, not to be like, oh, get over yourself. Like, but I mean, she was this like very like well off, like, I'm pretty sure she's from Massachusetts.
It's totally a classism thing with Tonya Harding. Yeah.
But yeah.
Where she's in the hospital room and she's like, why? You're like, okay, Jesus.
Yeah. But I mean, I mean, like, fair being fair, her whole career was ripped out from under her feet. So, like, I can't even imagine
that. Or she thought, like, she actually recovered and, like...
Right, she recovered, but I don't think did she compete in the Olympics the year after?
I think so. Like when I think she competed in the next Olympics that she could.
Interesting. Yeah, I saw I, Tonya like in theaters when it came out. I have not seen it since. But that's also like it's just
yeah,
it's great.
Daily.
It's so good. But it's like it paints a very empathetic picture of a very flawed person. And it does it the right way. And like again, like kind of like not to be like very like roundabout about this whole like point is just like I think that you can't do that with someone as flat as Cruella de Vil. You can do
can't inflate her that much.
Right. You can do it with Maleficent because in Sleeping Beauty, it's like, why the fuck does she's so mad she wasn't invited? Why is she this spite? Like spite is a really easy story to explain. Like someone being spiteful, like, oh, they have to have some kind of reason. You know what I mean? Like there's more to it than just she wasn't invited because she's the goth fairy. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot deeper than that, and you can make it deeper than that. I would even argue to say you could make Lady Tremaine from Cinderella. You could do something with her. I mean,
and they did.
God. And in Cinderella 3, A Twist in Time, they made an empathetic.
Well, they also they did a live action Cinderella, and Cate Blanchett is like Lady Tremaine.
Well, she's evil as shit in that though. She's also
like
feel sympathy for her.
I think she's pretty nuanced, where she's like, I literally married a man who doesn't love me just so that I can like not starve to death and like feed my daughters. So like screw you for hating me. Like I don't love our situation either. And then
I would genuinely argue that
like forgiving her at the end is like so cool and so beautiful, and I really appreciate that.
I would genuinely argue that the Cinderella remake, which was the first one, I believe, is the best
the first one.
Because it made the most sense because I'm not.
Oh yeah,
because the Cinderella movie, because that was the reimagining. But with Cinderella, it's because
Alice in Wonderland is like a sequel technically.
That's fair.
To the animated.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah.
Because my point being is that we keep. I've said.
Sorry. I'd like to continue.
This is a prequel to 101 Dalmatians.
It is. We've said this on the podcast before, but this has always been my big take: is that what's so good about Cinderella for a movie for a remake is that it's has not aged well. It's really boring. It's a lot of mouse escapades. The original animated Cinderella. I fucking hate the mousecapades. Jock and fucking whoever.
I love Jock.
I want to watch Tom and Jerry for 12 hours. I would like to watch Cinderella.
I like Tom and Jerry.
Yeah.
No, but anyway, it's flat. Like there's stuff that you can't add in. There's context you could give us. You can reinvent it. Like that's a movie that could use a little bit of reimagining. And they do a really good job. Like, they make the prince, like, a dude who has emotions. Yeah. They do a lot with Cinderella. That whole new dynamic with, like, the stepmother and Cinderella, like, with a little more of, like, actual, like, real-world, like, context of, like, yeah, she probably had to marry a dude or she would be on the street with no resources. Like, I think the Cinderella movie is, first of all, had a beautiful dress, had beautiful costume designs, and was just, like, probably the best remake.
And
but with movies like... And a lizard man.
Well,
and
it's not so bogged down by CGI, too, which is, like, a very pressing issue with a lot of these remakes, is that Disney's just like, this is
it's a little CGI-ish.
The rats are bad. They're there.
But it's not as aggressive as some of the other ones, you would say. Yeah.
Well, and it's like... With movies like Aladdin was the big one. I could watch Aladdin today, and it's still completely as relevant and just as good. It
still rules.
It's an amazing, totally awesome movie. Does not need to have anything added to it. The original.
The 89? No.
92. Aladdin came out in 92, yeah.
89 is Little Mermaid.
Yes, it is. 89 is Little Mermaid, 91 is Beauty and the Beast, 92 is Aladdin, 94 is The Lion King, 1995 is Pocahontas, 1996 is Hunchback of Notre Dame, 1997 was Hercules, 98 was
Mulan,
and 99 was Tarzan. Mm-hmm. So that's my superpower. Thank you.
But like my point being is that we didn't need a remake to Aladdin because Aladdin is a perfectly fine movie.
No,
if you go back and watch Cinderella and go, this is a little bit boring and we don't have context for a lot of these characters and they're all kind of flat, we're gonna fix it a little bit. That's a totally valid take. And to go to 101 Dalmatians and be like, what if Cruella wasn't Cruella? in the year 70s instead
Let's
of the 60s.
just like make
I'd be like, what the
Cruella a
fuck are you
whole other
doing?
bitch. Yeah.
Yeah, what the fuck are you doing? You didn't need to do this. I've watched 101 Dalmatians recently. It's a totally fine movie. I don't need Anita, like, I don't need it to be the Beauty and the Beast where I get to know why Anita's parents are dead. Like, I don't need that. I don't need to know why Cruella's parents are dead. I don't need it. You didn't have to do this.
And yeah,
Well,
you
it's
already
the same
did
thing
this in the 90s.
with Beauty and the Beast. Like, they made the Beauty and the Beast into a live action, which was I refused to watch because like I guess I just have beef with the Hollywood Emmas because I also would like meet me in the pit, Emma Watson. You don't deserve your job. I'm so glad you're retired. Do not unretire. Please don't. I will hunt you for sport. Actually, I won't. She's not on that list, but like she's up there. She sucks. She has no range. And to cast someone to play Belle, who's actually a pretty interesting character, and she just sucks at singing. She sucks at acting. Like, there's no shot I was going to see that movie. And, like, it sucks because I like Dan Stevens. But, like, and the thing is, like, Beauty and the Beast was a stage musical. It was on Broadway for a considerable amount of time. You could have just, like, figured out what worked there and, like, shifted that into, like, the medium of film. Someone just said, stay strong, Mike. Thank you. I'm trying. I'm trying. And, like, and here's, like, and my bias is the sense that, like, I am a 90s baby. These were my movies. Not so much, obviously, 101 Dalmatians. That was much before my time. Right. Thank God. But that was my childhood. My parents were Disney parents. If you we are not like chuggy Disney adults by any means. But that was what our love language was bonding over Disney films. And like, I think that they really hit their stride in the 90s. They made some masterpieces. And like, I think Disney can tell a dark story and still have light in it. Hunchback of Notre Dame is the dark horse of the Disney Renaissance. It was not received well when it came out. It's still not received well by a lot of people. It's still really good, though. It's a really good movie. Like, is it kind of weird to watch my ancestors get, like, murdered in the first 5 minutes of the movie and then the whole time they're just being, like, slurs are being hurled at them? Not great, Bob, but, you know, like, still really good. And, like, the music is just gorgeous in that movie. Like, there's so many,
also,
like...
the sky. Like, the way they animate the sky is crazy.
Well, it's just beautiful. It's beautiful start to finish. Like, it's just an interesting story.
That was just on the precipice of 3D animation, so a lot of the crowds are these low poly cubic people, and it's the only thing I can think about anymore, because it just ruins the movie when you look at them. It's hilarious, I'm sorry.
Yes, if you look at, like, some of, like, the movies with, like, a really hard lens, like the 3D scene in Aladdin, where he's, like, they're trying to get out of the Cave of Wonders,
the Cave of Wonders.
Literally feels like...
but it's different because it's literally, like, cube people being like, like, behind the line of, like, people who are drawn, and then everybody behind them is just like a sea of triangles. It's
like
so
funny.
But it's like
they got like cigars coming out of their mouths.
And it's like, and it's this, and I was actually like, not to again like go on this like full blown tangent, but it's not that Disney can't do cool, interesting shit. Like they can present interesting concepts. They just unfortunately like they'll bring it up and then do nothing with it. Like a perfect example is the progression of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies.
Right.
Like, Davy Jones is one of the coolest villains in cinema. Like, I will, like, die on that hill. He's super interesting. But, like, 2 and 3, and then, like, in 3, there's the Pirate Council, run by Keith fucking Richards. How cool is that? That's sick. And then you're just like,
they got Keith
okay,
Richards to actually
anyway.
those movies.
Yeah, like, hey, Keith, you want to
got Paul McCartney as well.
It's like a whole blockbuster franchise built around somebody making fun of him, and he was like, yeah, I'll do one. Like,
yeah. And he's like, hell yeah, sick. Like, I'll show up. But, like, and then, like, Disney's just like, actually, no, we're going to move away from that, and then we're going to just, like, completely, like, really Flanderize the series and focus on just Johnny Depp doing this, like, overblown almost impression of Jack Sparrow now. And it's so disappointing to just like this corporate studio overreach that continues to happen throughout these fucking movies. And I don't doubt it happened with Cruella. I mean, like another perfect example is Thor Ragnarok. There are 2 movies inside Thor Ragnarok. There's the fun YTD vision, and then there's the weird, boring Disney, we had to get this shit in the movie. Maybe it was the Russo brothers or Kevin Fuckat. I don't know. Like it was just like it was just like jarring when it would like flip back to Hela and then it would flip back to the scavenger planet. Like it just didn't feel natural. And it's the same thing with Cruella. Like there's these little bright spots in the movie, the fashion competition, like some of like her like weird nuances that she has. Like there's these little bright moments of like something is there, but no point is ever made. And it's like I just think with Disney, you can no longer like you can't trust them to make anything good anymore. They just don't have that ability. They don't. Like I am someone who I was just in Walt Disney World like 3 weeks ago. Like I am not, you know what I mean? Like I am not like without bias here.
I mean,
but like I do think that yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just want to say that like I think like the live action Disney like oeuvre is like so critically depressing. And like it feels because of exactly what I say when I say like even when they have like interesting creative talent, you look at the writers and you look at directors and you're like those are people whose like style I would recognize, who like I have an idea of what kind of things they like to do, and those movies always come across so I mean like glassy-eyed is the best way to describe it, just like dead inside, you know? And like that's what I think.
Yeah.
And, you know,
well, it's this like really hyper condensed version. Yeah.
Right. And I think, and it's really interesting because I think like the different like subdivisions of Disney operate really differently because like I think depending on it, Marvel has sort of a sheen to it, but it's not nearly as bad as like Walt Disney live action. And like Star Wars, I think is the complete opposite. I think all of the Disney Star Wars movies are like some of the least glassy-eyed movies ever made. All those movies feel like people who are trying their absolute fucking hardest that they've ever have in their life to make a movie, you know?
Hardest, yeah.
And like,
yeah.
But like that's what I am so excited about Cruella is that it's just like, it doesn't feel glassy-eyed. It feels like a movie made by people. It feels like something that somebody cared about. It feels like something that somebody put work into. It feels like the actors are having fun. It feels like the writers were having fun. It feels like it was fun to make. It has energy in it, you know? And that's what makes me kind of hopeful for like where Disney's going, because there's a lot of weird stuff going on at Disney like right at this moment and how they're like going to move forward on a lot of things. And like this, you know, despite the fact that it is still like a live action remake, which I'm like fundamentally the idea of it is not, I'm not crazy about, but I'd much rather they do them and have them be good than have them be shitty forever, you know? And like this to me is a big spark of hope that it's like maybe these aren't gonna feel quite so dead inside. Maybe they finally found the right like level of influence to give these people that they can make something that feels like it was made by a human being, you know? That's where I'm coming from the most, I think. Like it makes me a little bit more, because like I was so disappointed, like that like quadrilogy of like Aladdin, Lion King, Beauty and the Beast, and Mulan are just like remakes of movies that, like you said, like, don't need remakes and are just like shitty and dead-eyed and boring.
Right, when they suck the soul and the personality.
Yeah. And like, and you know, I think like Christopher Robin's pretty okay. I think Dumbo's all right. Jungle Book.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't seen Jungle Book since.
Well, again, out, the same thing.
Like pretty like I think what it is that the movies that they remake that feel good to me are the ones that are saying something. Like when they did Cinderella, they're saying that like kindness is its own superpower, and it's actually a lot harder to choose to be kind to someone than it is to be unkind. Or like the Jungle Book is saying like you need to be aware of your impact on other things and like the world around you, because it's actually a lot stronger than you think it might be. So then you need to be self-aware about this. But like Beauty and the Beast is like, oops, we made a mistake and this isn't actually like Stockholm Syndrome. Aladdin is, oops, isn't it fun? Wouldn't it be more fun if there was like Bollywood dance scenes? Like that, none of that is like,
don't silence her.
Mulan makes me the most angry because I think that Mulan
they destroyed
is also,
that movie.
Like speaking as a Chinese woman, like it's just like the original Mulan has a girl who is like ordinary by all means. Like she's pretty clever, but she uses like her cleverness and also her empathy towards her family and towards her people to like go and choose bravery, versus Mulan, who is just like really special because she's special. She was born special. That's why
she's like a shonen protagonist in
and this movie, I just don't feel like it's saying anything. Like, it just doesn't feel like it's adding anything. It doesn't feel like, and I also have an Emma like bias. I don't really love Emma Stone. I actually don't like her at all.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start busting heads.
Let's go.
Which I can't tell if it's because she did yellowface in a movie or if it's
listen, that reason alone. Period. End of sentence. End of fucking sentence. You don't have to explain yourself further. That is completely you are within your rights to just feel that way with that alone. That's it. That's all you need.
But I can't tell. I can't tell if it's something else because I can't tell if it's because of her acting that I don't like connect with, or if it's just that. I'll never know. It's a mystery.
Like how I felt with girl boss Kristen Wiig in Wonder Woman 1984, where I could not believe that this awkward woman could play sexy. Like, I'm sorry, and like an awkward woman myself, there are roles for us. Like, there are roles for weird bitches. They exist. Like, and like it's the same thing with Cruella. It's ugly. Erasure. Let a fucking weird looking woman play Cruella. Cruella is not attractive. She's not attractive.
She's not drawn like a human person.
She's a bony broad.
Yeah, she's a freaky looking like Tilda. No offense to Tilda Swinton, I love you, Tilda. Please don't kill me. She's a Tilda Swinton-esque alien type. She's bony. She's gaunt. She's
it's like the other mother from Coraline.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah.
She's strange looking. You look at her and you're like, okay. Like, I don't see Emma Stone as anything of that. Yeah,
it's like if you cast Taylor Swift as Yzma from The Emperor's New Groove. It'd be like, what the fuck are we doing? What?
Well, like, that would be strange for a lot of
reasons, but mainly she's supposed to be this weird old woman, and you've cast a young, conventionally attractive woman to play her. Like, it just makes no sense.
It just makes
also like an indigenous woman.
Yeah.
And also that. Well, she's purple, but yes.
Let's all get super mad about this imaginary scenario Adeline just made up.
Yeah, let's get pissed.
We can get mad.
Get mean. Get angry.
She said her name was Madeline.
There we go.
But yeah, so like that is my issue with Emma Stone is I personally don't think she has the range for this character. I think she has great comedic timing. I think that like when she's in a comedic setting, she does fantastic. I just personally feel that like her playing a serious role like this, it should have gone to a character actress. It should have gone to someone that is their MO, that is more in line with what they do. And not to say that comedic actors, Kathy Bates?
No, just
like, hello? I was like, literally don't change the plot at all. Like, imply that Kathy Bates is a 20-year-old woman and just let her go. Go, Kathy, go.
None of them look 20 anyway, so
that's
just
fair.
Like, run with it. Just make it.
Like, physicality-wise, like, if you, like, I really can't speak for Lady Gaga's acting because, like, all of my... Like, the telephone video is the only knowledge I have that Lady Gaga can, like,
I literally, when I was in my notes, I wrote, I wish this was Lady Gaga.
That would have been better.
Yeah.
That definitely would have been better.
If Gaga was in her 20s now when this film came out, because I feel like she's just quite a little bit, not that Emma Stone is
they're the same age.
Also
it would have been fine. Just they've been out there for 20 years also.
Yeah,
like, pretend they're all 22.
Or something like that, yeah. But, like, and then, like, yeah, I don't know. Like, Emma Stone just did not have the range. Like, I've actually been racking my brain all day trying to think of who would be a much better, more fitting pick. I know the chick from Ready or Not was,
you mean...
She's like Margot Robbie.
You mean from Sound of Metal?
I did not see
No,
that.
it's not Olivia Cook.
But...
I think Catherine Newton's in Ready or Not, right?
It's Samira
Newton. Oh, Catherine Newton. I like Catherine Newton, but she's...
Who's the chick from Bill and Ted, then? Because I'm thinking of the chick. They all look the same.
Yeah, Catherine Newton.
There's like 3 white women and Catherine Newton?
Who's
Samira Wiley?
Pikachu, she was in Bill and Ted.
Samira Wiley?
Ready or Not.
Is Samira Wiley from Orange is the New Black?
Fuck,
yes, why did I think she was the fucking...
She would be fun. She would be a fun Cruella.
Yeah,
She's too
literally.
busy doing Handmaid's Tale.
She's too busy doing Handmaid's Tale. I don't know why in my brain I was like, Samira Wiley is the woman from Ready or Not. It is a completely different woman. That is a whole entirely different individual. That is insane that my brain was just like, yes.
Sometimes those
got it.
I was getting Catherine Newton and Samara Weaving confused because I think they are.
Samara Weaving.
I think I just listed both of their credits all at once as one person. Samara Weaving's in Bill and Ted.
Mind Palace got mixed up.
Yeah.
Samara Weaving is in Bill and Ted and Ready or Not.
Yeah.
And Catherine Newton is in Blockers and Detective Pikachu and.
Okay.
Something. And this really bad romantic Groundhog Day movie that I just watched. So I recommend it. Was, and I love it was good though. Freaky was good.
I did not like Freaky.
I
wanted to like it so
Vince
bad.
Vaughn, running like a teenage girl.
How come
That's
Vince
like 8
Vaughn
out of 10 all on its own.
Chemistry with that teenage boy that Catherine Newton does.
Yeah.
They have such good chemistry.
Let Vince Vaughn do things again. God damn it! Give Vince Vaughn work. I miss him.
Like just watching Vince Vaughn like run in that movie. I was on cloud nine the whole rest of the day.
Very good.
Just watching him like do this little like I'm a teenage girl in a 6'5" man's body run. Like just so funny.
My sister and I will always, I feel like Vince Vaughn just gives a very good teenage girl, like better than you'd think.
Right.
Because there's this scene where like they're trying to convince the like love interest that like they're actually the girl, and so Catherine Newton's like, Booker,
yeah.
And then he goes, Booker, look at me, look at me, Booker. It's so funny.
It's super, The comedic timing in that movie was very, very good, and I enjoyed that. I was also on an airplane, so I think that was part of the reason why I was kind of like.
The first time I watched.
This was the first new movie I'd seen in like 8 months because of the pandemic, so I was like, wow.
This was great.
Yeah. A new experience.
The first time I watched Drive was on my phone on an airplane, and I was like, I don't even get it. Like, that movie wasn't even that good.
Anytime you watch a movie on your phone, Martin Scorsese passes out somewhere. He just drops to the floor. He doesn't die. We're not going to kill him.
He'll be okay.
The first time I watched Misery was on my phone, and that's a 10 out of 10 movie also. Misery is one of my
favorites. Misery is so good!
Give Kathy Bates every role ever.
Yes.
Just give Kathy Bates every role. Yeah.
I love Kathy.
I saw Misery at my 7th birthday party for some reason.
Oh, fuck yeah.
That happened.
Weird.
That was a time. That was a choice.
It was just on at the Chuck E. Cheese.
It was on in my house. It was a house party, and like the adults were just like, yeah, leave Misery on. That's funny.
Because Kathy Bates did an excellent
that's funny. That's fine for the kids. This is a 7-year-old's birthday party. What could go wrong?
Remember in Misery,
very
when
weird.
He spends like 3 days like building up the little painkiller tablets and like putting them away, and then he puts them in Kathy Bates' drink, and she just like knocks it over. How good is that shit? I love Misery so much.
Misery's so good.
We should do Misery on this.
Okay, but my final thought, outside of like giving Kathy Bates every job, is on Cruella, by closing statement and argument, I guess, is just you could have done a story that focused on how the fashion industry will chew you up and spit you out and make you fucking crazy. You could have made it like I said, make the story she's a fashion student, she's in college, she's being grinded into paste by some nasty woman she's interning with, or like I said before, make her competition someone that has a different belief system than she does. Make her competition someone that believes in ethical fashion, that says, oh, fur is so gauche. Fur is so last season. Who wears furs anymore? You know what I mean? Like, give her a reason to be protective of the fur thing. Make that part of her personality, because that quite literally is part of her personality. Explain to us why she's such a freak about taxidermy and animals and shit like that. You can make it make sense. I mean, my God, it's not that hard. Just like I said, make her be like a descendant of a fur family. So her money is in fur. Her life is in fur.
Right.
I mean, you've got kids that are, the children of stockbrokers and shit that are very pro Wall Street, because they have to be, because that's how their money, that's how the sausage is made. You know what I mean?
And even if her hair has to naturally be like half black, half white. I have a friend who like has vitiligo, and when he got so stressed out, his eyebrow is white now. Like he has one white eyebrow. So like imagine if like as time goes on, her hair becomes more.
Right. Well, yeah, like the more stressed out, the more under pressure she gets, we start to see, and you can see the descent into this character more. And yes, that's like very like obvious and like, oh, okay. And like,
but like it's for kids.
Exactly. Exactly. It makes more sense than her just being like the baby when they show the baby. And the baby's got the hair. I was like,
it's like It's Always Sunny when like Frank is wearing that wig.
Oh, when he's oboe gablaga. The art critic. Yeah.
That's what this wig looks like.
Right. But like, yeah, make the story about how like the fashion industry makes monsters of us all. You know what I mean? And like you can make a critique on like, yeah, if you want to do the fast fashion angle, like so anything, make
very relevant.
Yeah, just like and like say something.
And you could have gone the extra mile with the costumes. You could have gone so crazy and so over the top and so ridiculous. I mean, like, it's such wasted potential. Like, all I can think of is like my basis for comparison is always Marie Antoinette when I think of a fun, colorful movie that takes like a pretty serious source material and makes it like exciting and fun. Or even like another great example of a really refreshing version of a fairy tale is Ever After. Ever After, I don't know if y'all have seen it. If you have not, please, I'm begging you watch it. I will mail you my DVD that I've had since 2002. It is a telling of Cinderella with Drew Barrymore as Cinderella. And
we love Drew.
And Angelica Houston as the wicked stepmother. And it is fantastic. It is like a non-fairy tale version of a fairy tale. So the fairy godmother is Leonardo da Vinci. And it's very weird and very fun and very interesting. And it is so good. And like it's would be, I guess, considered like a romance film, like your run-of-the-mill 90s romance films, but like it's so good. And like they do like fun things with the costumes. Like the scene when she comes to the ball, like I don't want to spoil what the outfit looks like, but Drew, babe, you look breathtaking. Like that took the air out of my lungs as a little kid. It came out, I believe, in 1998. So it's like, you know, I wouldn't even say it's dated because it's just still a really good film, like start to finish. I don't know I'm actually curious to see who directed that. But yeah, I watched Ever After, like probably like, came out in 99. Huh. It's got a 91% on Rotten Tomatoes, as it should.
So,
Andy Tennant.
So we've been going about 2 hours. Adeline, do you have a creepypasta this week?
I do not. I did not think that we would have time for one.
Okay.
I have one. Okay. Here, this is called Cruella de Devil. And it goes.
And there's 3 L's.
Yeah. Ooh. Hell.
Hell.
And it's one where Cruella, she's misunderstood. And then she starts murdering people, and you turn around, and she's in your bedroom. Oh my god!
Oh no!
I don't. That'd have been fun. I would have enjoyed that in the movie.
Okay, well then, in that case, why don't you plug our stuff, Kezia, and then I'll play us out. I mean, unless I don't know, are we done? Like, do we?
I think so.
Okay.
It's not good. They had nothing to say. It could have been good. They didn't do it.
It is good.
Also, Disney live action Disneyers, if you're out there, if you're
if anyone on the Cruella team is listening, if you do exist,
if you have to make these movies, which I don't think you do, but I know they make money, please just do them for a reason. Just give them backbones. That's all. Just make them good. Anyway.
I think this one is good.
That's my take.
Hey, Disney, if you're listening,
it doesn't even go ape shit. Jackson, this movie doesn't even go ape shit, and that's the one thing I have to do. It doesn't kill a single dog.
They open the
She doesn't kill a single dog.
What do you mean?
No, she doesn't kill a single dog.
Yeah, like marmoset shit.
Yeah, my final rating is 3 living Dalmatians out of 10. None of them died.
Out of 101.
Yeah, actually, no, that's a very big scale.
I'm just saying that's like we're hardly any dogs in this movie.
I think 3 living Dalmatians out of 10 is like is
3
correct.
living Dalmatians out of 10. That's my final. Answer.
I give it a Paul Walter Hauser looks like that Chihuahua out of 10. Good bit, Disney.
I give it.
Good job.
I'd say 1 poop necklace out of 5.
Okay. Wahoo!
Wahoo!
Anyway, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. We're gonna miss you on YouTube, but come follow us over to Twitch. It'll be a lot more fun. It'll be a lot easier for everybody. We're all gonna have a good time. We're
Discord no longer also, streaming on YouTube.
We will not be streaming on YouTube, but if you can still listen to it on YouTube the day of, so don't you worry your pretty little mind. People throw rocks at things that shine. If you would like, you should subscribe to our podcast here or on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever else podcasts are sold. Listened to. It's free. If you would like to join our conversation anymore, you can join us on our Discord. The link is in the description. We talk a lot about fruit. We talk a lot about other movies. Talk a lot about random. I tried to talk about Glee and I didn't get a lot of conversation.
No one wants to talk about Glee, Kezia.
That's okay. I don't mind. I have other outlets where I can talk about Glee.
She has a support group.
You can follow us on Twitter.
I was just going to say, apparently our Discord link is not working in the description again. I don't know why that keeps happening.
There'll be a way. We'll find a way. It'll work eventually in the description soon. If not, you can follow us on Twitter at NoNerdsPod, and we will have a link for you available there. You can also follow Jackson at Jebberpack. You can follow Adeline at Hollowbackhorse. And a big thank you to our guest, Wait, how did you say? Cosmonaut?
Cosmonaut.
But I know, but what did you say earlier?
Cosmo,
yeah, Girl
Cosmonaut Meg, yeah.
Cosmonaut Meg joined us today. We are so happy to have her. If you have anything that you would like to plug at the bottom of the show as well.
Just follow me on Twitter at Megan's the Worst, on Instagram at Megan's the Worst, and keep your eyes out because some dating advice might be coming to a podcast or a YouTube screen near you.
Ooh. Better than the Music Bachelor.
Yeah, better than the Music Bachelor. So
listen to your heart.
It's not going to be called Listen to Your Heart for legal reasons and personal reasons.
Yeah, I think that's the right call. I think so.
Well,
thanks for coming and talking about girl bosses with us.
I can't wait to gatekeep and gaslight my girl bosses.
Heck yeah, baby.
Yeah.
So, would you guys like to hear a 5-star review of Cruella?
Sure.
It's from me. It says, "Hey, this is good, actually." No. This person comes from letterboxd.com. And
Play him off!
Hit the button!
Start the music, quick!
I run the stream, baby. There ain't nothing you can do about it. I'm here all night. Okay.
You think you're locked in here with me? I'm locked in here with you!
No.
Okay.
No.
This person says, "The way that Cruella and her outfits misconstrued and redefined what it meant to convey and obtain the concupiscent and anomalistic clearance is showing us that idiosyncrasy is equally inevitable while simultaneously and continually substantiating cinema."
Okay, thesaurus. Did someone literally just go,
this person belongs in a jail cell. They literally belong in a jail cell. Like,
you know, when you're in middle school, when you're in 7th grade and you have to write an essay and you're like, this sounds really stupid. So you just like, you'd go look through a thesaurus and you're like, not good. Incredible. Stupendous.
Yeah.
It's stupendous.
That's what
precisely that.
You really just went through and highlighted every word and you were like, what's the pretentious alternative that I could sort into this review?
You were talking
Did
about
they like it?
Or some shit.
So
5 stars?
So anyway, my name is Jackson McMurray.
My name is Adeline McMurray.
My name is Kezia Rhodes. And this is Cosmonaut Meg.
Yeah.
And yeah, thank you. And subscribe to the Twitch if you haven't. We have said that already, but like, just have a good day, guys. We might hang around for just a minute longer. I don't know if we're gonna stop. This is the end of the podcast, but I don't know. I'm pretty tired. A lot of conflict. On
you
this
did say
episode.
keep it salty, sailors. So I think you have to resign,
Keep
Jackson.
it salty out there, sailors. Fuck.
Wah, 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 wah. I feel okay. I feel fine.
Yeah.
Love you, person that just said love
This
you.
is
People don't tell me they love me in the
yeah.
chat.
Love you,
Yeah.
Jackson. That we were mean.
Yeah.
Well, if they'd watch Cruella, they'd know that it's okay to be mean sometimes.
True.
Yeah,
True.
it's just what girl bosses do. That's what we do.
Sometimes you just gotta be mean. I'm terrified because I just opened up Audition and now it's freaking out. Oh no.
Oh
Oh,
jeez.
no.
Should I
Okay,
stop
okay.
recording? I'll stop recording.
we
Yeah,
can
I'm
all
gonna stop
our
recording.
Okay.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Is it still recording?
Wahoo.
Save.
Wahoo?
Wahoo! Oh, I just this
Oh,
has
it's
not
still
happened to me for a really long time, but I just felt like in the gut of my system that I need fruit punch like right now.
Yeah, my
all
throat is incredible. I have been waiting this whole time. I was like, my throat is so dry. I need water.
Okay, no, yeah,
I feel
it's
like
cool.
SpongeBob in Sandy Town.
Well,
So-
okay. We'll see you
But
next
like,
time.
why
Nick.
fruit punch?
All right, thanks
Yeah,
for having me, guys. It's been super fun. I would love to be on again if you find something even girl bossier than Cruella.
Yeah,
Okay, we'll
find
see.
another
Even
girl
girl
Okay,
boss.
boss here.
Before you go,
Even
this is
girl
something-
boss here.
This is something important. I did dredge up our Discord conversation, Meg, and here's what I invited you to do. What I
Okay,
said-
let me hear these options.
Okay. 1 moment. I gotta pull it back up. Okay. I said, are you interested in
Okay.
coming back on Nerds Aloud again? I said, we've got free episodes on Cruella,
Right.
Luca, and Black Widow, but we also have a lot of empty spaces in June and July if you just want to pick out any movie you want. So I just want to be clear, your options were
I didn't
any
read
movie
that
in the
part. I
world.
missed that part. All right.
Okay.
I will say. You know what? I will tell you this. I'm gonna pick since it's any movie in the world, I'm gonna come back with the girl bossiest movie
Okay,
there is, and
that's
that's
the
my mic
challenge.
drop.
All right.
So
All right.
There we
that's
go.
the mic
Find
drop.
it.
I
Okay.
think that we need to at least round out the girl boss saga. Like,
Oh, yeah.
The
two
trilogy.
is like not very impressive.
Yeah.
Uh,
But anyway, I gotta run
Goodbye.
because I
And I'll
also
stop
have
the
to pee.
stream too.